here.
What's up, everybody? Your favorite Russian Shield agent's favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Marvel Legends Classic Series Black Widow. This is the only one I want from the line, and I don't want any of the Black Panther figures because I'm going SH Figuarts for the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, so hopefully they'll bang some out. So that means between this wave and the next wave of Marvel Legends, I'm only interested in this figure, which I told my wife, and I thought that she would be pleasantly surprised.
You'll be happy to hear, of the next two Marvel Legends waves, I'm only buying, guess how many?
How many?
One. Just one from the next two waves.
Okay.
Okay? Is that it?
Okay. Yep, that's it.
I feel like maybe you should be a little bit more appreciative, a little bit more excited.
I feel like maybe you shouldn't be buying them anyway.
But, you know, it's hard to find a woman that will truly appreciate you. So let's talk about accessories. She comes with 2 guns, one for each of you. They, unfortunately, are extremely warped. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Good night. And I think we can just go ahead and get started right into the figure. Obviously, it's just one figure, so it's not going to be the biggest review in the world. But I think, you know, we'll take a little extra time and try to talk about, you know, everything that we can. So, first of all, I feel like they used the wrong body. I feel like Natasha, Natalia? I can't, Natasha, right? I feel like she should have the more voluptuous body, and they kind of chose the mid buck, like the middle level one. And I feel like that was probably not the best choice. I also feel like this head looks very similar to like a cross between the Jean Grey one and the a lot of the Mary Jane one. So it doesn't quite ring true for her either, which is kind of a bummer. The suit, none of it is painted. There's not a lick of paint on the suit whatsoever. It's just black plastic. You have these things here, which are like her wrist blasters or whatever, and they are, they're not even glued, they're just slid on, but it's a good tension with those, so let's give them credit for that. The belt is a floating piece, and they did paint the belt with the little Black Widow symbol, so that's cool, and it's clean and sharp. The hair is a nice, it looks like airbrush effect from this lighter orange to this darker orange, but I feel like it's maybe too orange, but that's definitely my own personal kind of subjective opinion. And I just don't feel like the face looks a lot like her. But whatever. Let's move on. It's 20 bucks, right? We're not expecting the world. So the head is on a ball hinge. You can get down to there, and because of the hair, it kind of hides how it destroys the anatomy of the sculpt, but it's still not great. If you keep the anatomy of the sculpt, you can get down to there, which is barely anything, and up to there, which isn't great either. And then you can get the swivel one way. You can get it the other way, but it doesn't look right because of the hair. The hair is a softer plastic, but it's not quite soft enough to kind of sit the way you want and move the way you want around the shoulders. It's a ball peg for the diaphragm, which is good, and it works well. So no complaints there. Disc hinge for the shoulder, that gets you up to there and around. No bicep swivel, you get it at the elbow, which I think is okay. It gets you 90 degrees. The wrist swivel and hinge up, down on this side and in, out on that side. So that's nice as well. I would prefer, actually, in this specific scenario, that they were both up, down, because they're both gun holding hands. Let's talk about that for a minute. People always give me a hard time that I'm too picky about Hasbro when it comes to stuff like this, but she has 2 guns. She has 2 trigger finger hands. She holds them both like a champ. That's the way it should be engineered. That's the way it should be designed. T-jointed ball joints for hips, they get you out to there, which is very limited. Forward to there, back to there, so that's fine. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee, gets you the full range if you can get the upper joint to work properly. And ankles tilt up a taste, tilt down a good bit, which isn't as useful, and rock. So all of that works fairly well. And there she is from the back. There she is with the Movieverse version. Now there's a ton more sculpted detail and paint in this one. This is a much better done figure. The only real issues with this were that she has a hard time standing, and then her guns don't remove from the holsters, which was kind of stupid. But when I was buying her, I was just going hardcore Marvel Legends, and now I'm kind of you know, I'm doing the movie stuff with the import stuff and then the comic book stuff with the sort of American companies, and this figure blows this one out of the water, but this is the look I'm going for, so it's kind of that's just the state of affairs I'm stuck in. I am going to use her for a custom. Actually, I'll show you what it is. So there are the pieces I'm using, and if you guys guess correctly in the comments, I will let you know. Final thoughts wise, Marvel Legends have made a lot of great figures recently, and this is not one of them. I don't feel like the likeness is 100% there. There's no extra added effort. They could have sculpted in a collar and part of the suit there, I think. The guns come warped into packaging. I would imagine that's widespread, because that has been my experience, that usually I hear back in the comments when I have weapons that are all sorts of warped in the packaging that people say they had the same thing. Limited articulation in the neck, limited articulation in the hips, and on top of that, nothing really exciting about the figure whatsoever. They haven't done a Black Widow figure comic book related in some time, and it's a shame because the character's pretty popular and kind of a star of their franchise at the moment, that they didn't put a little love or a little bit more love into this. So I can't recommend this unless you're like me and you've just been dying for one. If you're dying for one, she'll suit your needs, but trust me when I tell you, there's nothing special about this one. I do want to give a shout out to Randy B. He was able to track this lady down for me and send it my way, and even took some money this time, so I had a little less guilt, so that was nice of him. So shout out to him, thanks to him, and thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Till next time, take care.